Guys, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And right off the top, congratulations on the Juno nomination. How does it feel once again,
Thank you
man?
so much.
Canada's top honor.
It's the best thing to wake up to because we're on the West Coast. So every time we wake up, we just see it in the morning. We're like, this is amazing. Like, it's the best feeling.
But it is a great feeling. I mean, not just because it's Canada's biggest music night, but also with everything that's been going on with COVID and so many artists having so many problems trying to get their music out. How does it feel getting this honor, knowing how tough it's been for the music industry?
Oh, it's a great feeling. We haven't been home very much due to the pandemic. Our most of our operations are in LA, so having to quarantine for 2 weeks every time you go is very challenging. So we haven't been home at all. So to still feel that love in the form of this from Canada, it's an incredible feeling.
Well, congratulations on that. So happy for you guys. Especially, I think it's what, best duo or group? Best
Yeah,
duo
group of the
group?
year.
Yeah. Now that's cool. I mean, it's great to always get a Juno nomination. It's also great to get in your genre. But when you're talking about, group of the year, and this is all genres, that must make it even more special.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this is the third time we've been nominated, and we won it last year, so it's an honor to be able to have it again.
Yeah, it's always been super important for us to, we're in the dance music space. That's what we're passionate about. But it's always been very important for us to have that music transcend culture as much as we can. So like you said, being in a genre-less category like that, it's really, really humbling.
And here we go, because the month of March has been good to you guys. We got a new single out. I got to ask, before we start talking about the new single, how hard was it for you guys to record this? And even with this amazing video that I saw too, that I want to talk about also, how was it that you guys were able to do this, knowing so many areas were shutting down, opening up, and it didn't matter where you were around the world?
I mean, we're in LA, so we stayed here for a reason, is because our studio's here, and that was the one thing that us touring so much we didn't really have whenever we wanted. So it was always tough, like being on the road and having to work on laptops and like kind of not really be able to access studios as much as we'd like. So the last year we've just been here like pretty much working the entire time and working on tons of new music. So Amnesia was a really fun record to put together because we're good friends with Gashi, and as soon as he heard the record, he was like, I love this. And we worked on it with our friends Ship Wrek, and they're talented producers as well. And it all came together really well.
Yeah, the video, I know what's probably deceiving about it is that it probably looks like it would have, a bunch of people on set because it's got very high production value. But it was actually a very small shoot, completely COVID tested, because of course we had to be compliant with all the restrictions here. So, it followed the rules and it wasn't too difficult getting done.
Let's talk about Amnesia. How did this collaboration come about with another duo and another great rap artist?
Well, we're good friends with Ship Wrek, and we've been kind of talking with them for a while, just kind of like shooting music back and forth. And then we made the first version of Amnesia, and like we had like everything sort of like figured out. And then when Gashi heard it, he's also a very good friend of ours, and we were like, he would be perfect. Like, I think he would kill this record. And as soon as he heard it, he was like, yes, I need to be on this.
Gashi,
he literally had it like that day. Like,
yeah, no, he just destroys it. He looks so good and sounds so good. It was like, man, it just took it to another level.
He's got a really powerful voice.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about the video too, because to me, it's got so many symbols and meanings to it. I'm thinking like, dancing to heaven kind of thing. This is what we do before we head up there. What's the story behind the video itself?
Well, it was directed by our friend Adrian, who's worked on tons of videos with us. And he's incredibly talented. And his idea was basically amnesia. What does that mean? And so he kind of framed that around an alien abduction. And then from there, it just went so many crazy directions. And it was a blast for us because normally our videos are very, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but they kind of follow the same sort of vibes, good times, very colorful, friendly. This was like our first chance to do something where we're like, let's make this as weird as possible. And you saw the result. It's pretty weird, but it's awesome.
What about the song itself lyrically? What's it about?
Amnesia. It's about just letting it all go for a night, the same way as if with amnesia, it never happened.
Well, I tell you something. It's something we definitely need right now, and that's another importance with artists like yourselves. Um,
So true.
yeah, not just the fact that we need music these days, but dance music. Think about this: the fact that we've been, quarantined for so long. So many people are putting out dance parties out on YouTube and on Facebook. You guys have just created another reason for us to get out there and party and dance, and especially with the warm weather coming up. How do you feel about that?
It was something that really for us we took a chance on because we didn't really know how it was going to do, just doing these online shows. But I mean, it feels really good when like a lot of your friends are like, I partied like at home with it, like everybody's just telling you that like they love it and they jam it and they like have it on all the time. So it's like a super cool feeling, knowing that like because we're not playing shows that other people are still being able to enjoy our live music.
What are the plans for 2021 for you guys? Of course, we have the Junos coming up in 10 weeks as we speak. What are the other plans happening for you guys?
Well, we have a ton of new music that we've been working on over the last year. So we're going to be looking at releasing a lot more of it, and then hopefully touring. Hopefully, like things come back open and it's safe to go play shows again. So
What advice can you give artists out there right now? Because you guys have been very successful throughout this quarantine time. What advice can you give them for people who are still struggling, trying to get music out there, especially because venues are still closed? I mean, we are in the month of March as we speak. Hopefully, drive-ins are going to be opening up for artists to do performances like that. And of course, we still have the virtual. What advice can you give them right now to hopefully we can get through all this and we can get to live music at venues the way it was in the back in the day?
I mean, it's been very discouraging. Like we've been very fortunate in terms of having been around and sort of like being able to perform out live and stuff like that. But it can get very discouraging. But at the same time, like this is a great time for artists to really focus on what they're doing and really put a lot of effort and energy into it. And that's kind of what we did when we came here is we just sort of dropped everything we were doing. And we're like, okay, we're going to just focus on this. And it's the same sort of thing for anything that we do. It's like, you just got to like really sit and put the time in and focus on something. I'm like learning new things every day. So new skills, new stuff like that. So it's really just committing and putting your energy into that. And it will like, when you do that, that's when things succeed is because what you're doing, you pretty much giving everything, you know?
What are the plans for the Junos?
Well, nothing's really been clear to us in terms of, whether it's just going to be a digital thing or whether it's going to be something that we all celebrate together. Of course, our main concern is doing it safely and doing it respectfully. So, whatever way that transpires, fingers crossed, if it means that we can all gather in person, we would love that. It's been way too long since we've seen a lot of people out in Canada. So
Yeah, I would love to be able to travel Canada again.
yeah.
Yeah,
We got-
especially because it's Toronto. This is the 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
This is what we
huge.
need. Yeah, this was. Oh man, the parties that were planned 2 years ago when this was announced, and then to have to scrap all of it
I
is
I
know.
just
know.
heartbreaking. But one thing you did talk about was safety, and I'm just curious because of COVID-19, we're all wearing masks. I've got a couple of. Actually, I've probably got about, I'd say about 30 masks myself, but I've got a couple that are my favorites. What's your favorite mask to wear?
I
Yeah.
got this snowboard mask that I
Yeah.
use.
I keep it pretty boring, just a good old N95 surgical.
I love to snowboard, but this is good because it keeps your neck warm and it's like easy to put on and off.
So easy to slide on, slide off, and it's all good for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of safety, we have no issue wearing masks, but definitely need a more stylish one, which is what you're making me realize, telling me that you have 30 different masks.
Man, look, I had to go to Amazon because when you're trying to go to them local stores to try to get masks, there's just nothing out there. But I would love to get a loud luxury mask if there's ever one that's going to be created.
We'll
And
have to make you one.
hopefully it'll be out there pretty soon, especially when you guys are out there touring and doing your thing. Look, I know we got to wrap this up. So I want to say thank you so much for doing this interview. Oh, social media, where do we go to follow you guys?
at Loud Luxury across the board.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you
Everything.
name it. Yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up, so definitely check in on those.
Thank you, Rudy.
Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Congratulations on the new music. Congrats on the Junos. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you guys in person here. But either way, man, all the best. Be safe and definitely talk soon to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Rudy.
you.